Hello, Aries. This is Soul from Intuitive Tarot here to look at your week ahead starting September 22nd, 2025. My Rams, I hope all is well. Welcome any new subscribers to the channel. I appreciate you. The deck I am using will be listed in the description box, not intentionally reading reversals. Just going to cleanse the energies here from Dawn Pisces spread for the week, and we're about to see what's coming up potentially for you, Aries. What is the messages, or what are the messages for Pisces? What could Aries, I just did Pisces. What can Aries expect this week? What's the surrounding energies for Aries? And I don't know, Aries, if you were one of the signs that had the tower, and I was talking about, I see once I do these readings, it just leaves me. I don't go back to them or whatnot. But I talked about one of the signs that received the star card and what was it? The tower. I think it was the tower. And I had mentioned that someone very famous was going to pass away. And lo and behold, I was looking at, I was just on MSN. I usually don't, read the news. But as soon as I open up, that's where my, computer opens up to MSN. And the headline just had a picture of, I think it was Robert Redford and Paul Newman, I believe. But I had it was just a picture, but I didn't see anything stating that, he had passed away. And then I, later looked and I'm like, oh my God, he did pass away. So he was 89 years old. And that was part of the prediction whenever we have a combination of the tower and the star. All right. So anyway, let's see what's coming up here for you. And we have the Eight of Cups. So this is a no drama week starting off for you right off the bat. Aries, maybe you dealt with something. It doesn't necessarily mean you dealt with 8 emotional things. Maybe it was just one thing that you dealt with, but your back is to that energy this week. You don't want to deal with it. Maybe you come to some sort of resolve. And so I call it a no drama week for Aries. Up next here now we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so the Nine of Swords is here. Nine of Swords represents some sort of increased activity when it comes to you, Aries, overthinking about something. Maybe it's connected to the Eight of Cups in terms of what you don't want to deal with this week. It's usually revolving around some conflicting energies, whether, it's internal, external, could be from your recent or your distant past. And usually this is a lot of pain and suffering that may be taking place in silence. I also assign that it could be physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, definitely emotional abuse, brought onto you by others. And it doesn't necessarily have to be restricted to just, romantic partners. This could be family members. This could be co-workers. This could be platonic friendship. But anyway, seeking some sort of relief, because this does represent normally about, having to be betrayed, deceived, lied to, feelings of, some sort of shame, maybe something that occurred with you or happened with you in the past, and now you're feeling some type of way about it. If it is not the type of energy that is expressed towards you this week, Aries, I always say that it could be that somebody who is dealing with some sort of barriers or restrictions. I normally say that you just may know somebody who is being incarcerated. Of course, then it's their Nine of Swords energy as opposed to yours. But anyway, seeking that relief through any forms of prescription medication for an intense degree of anxiety. Could be could be depression. The depression could be, severe. And then also seeking relief through non-prescription medication. And that could be drinking alcohol, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, whatever it is that's going to help alleviate this energy for you. Okay, so let me throw a clarifier on this Nine of Swords to see why it showed up here for you right off the bat. Why did that Nine of Swords show up here for Aries? But also too, Aries, keep in mind, it could be that, this week could, some of you could be just experiencing a pool of energy where you're just being pulled in many different directions. and it could be, work related. It could be, definitely related to relationships, extreme amount of energy related to having to make a decision about something, but you're still not coming to terms about that decision. But we'll see. I'll leave that because it's in the reverse, and I'll just turn it around. So what could possibly be going on is, okay, so the Empress is here. All right, so how I'm going to clarify this Empress is, the card of beauty, the card of respect, the card of value, the card of love and nurturing, right? So I feel that the Empress could represent all those things that are about you, but then the Nine of Swords will come in and say that, either someone, I feel that someone could be just, having to either disrespect you, okay, have some sort of disregards towards you. And that creates the Nine of Swords energy, the conflict and stuff. Now, again, this could be attached to your, recent past, your distant past. Someone is not respecting you here, Aries, with this Empress that is clarifying that Nine of Swords. That someone is not valuing you. Someone's not seeing you for what your worth is. Okay, but I do feel that it's more about, it's all about all of those things, but I think it's just you being, disrespected. All right, so following that, we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so there we have the the romantic card coming through here, and this is for those Rams who are already engaged in partnerships. Then you're getting out of that relationship, of course, which you are putting into. He holds chalice, and so it could be an offering of a job as well. The distinct ability of the Knight of Cups can pull in new romantic partnerships. Following the Knight of Cups here for you, now we have the Knight of Wands. Again, Knight of Wands, a court card shows up here. This is usually how I read it, that it could be just during the week that someone from the family, or, romantic partner, it could be a co-worker, platonic friend coming in to assist you, Aries. This is your own energy. And helping you with something, and they'll rapidly come in there and assist you and stay there until whatever help that you need is completed. But then after it's done, they quickly exit. But also to the presence of the Knight of Wands in this spread for you this week, especially because it's following the Knight of Cups, could indicate of how fast and how powerful a new relationship could take shape and form. And that doesn't mean it's just exclusive to romance, but definitely it's indicated that a new romantic partnership could take place. It could be a platonic friendship as well as a, I already said that, right? Platonic friendship, romantic partnership. Okay, things are intensifying, things are heating up, building up. He's a court card, of course. Any forms of sexual expression is usually very positive, favorable. All right, so that is the Knight of Wands. Following the Knight of Wands, now we have for you the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is just a minor juggling act here, Aries, not to worry about it. But some of you could be getting a small pay raise this week. Some of you could also be just balancing out your checkbook. You could be also working two jobs. Got two things going on. Following the Two of Pentacles, now we have the Moon, major arcana of the Moon. So anything related to any secrets that may have been hidden from you, kept from you, may come to light, okay, may become illuminated. The Moon always reveals those things that were hidden from you. There is a cycle of energy that is ending for you. A new cycle is about to begin. But most importantly here is for you to pay attention to your intuition. The Moon is all about that intuition. It's very fluid. So you have to go with the first things that you get in your gut in terms of impressions, or, having to distinguish between angelic guidance when you hear voices. And I'm not talking about mental psychotic stuff. I'm talking about your internal voices. That is usually guidance. But also, too, you have to substantiate between whether that is angelic guidance or if it's not just your own ego trying to trip you up. And how you can tell, really, at least by me in terms of my description and my experience, is that, once you receive something that's for your better benefit, it doesn't come in, it'll come in with love, okay? That energy that you feel or hear will come in with love. And when it comes to the ego, then the ego could flip the script on you real quick. So that's why I said it's you have to pay attention to those inner feelings, those inner voices, and making sure that you're not allowing your ego to trip you up from receiving, messages that are there for you to guide you. The moon, however, being a major arcana, also too is showing up here for those who are already receiving that energy from, like their family members, friends, co-workers, could be romantic partners. When we're talking about dedication, love, commitment, devotion, all of that. Also too, likes and crushes may be coming forward as well. Okay. All right, so following the major arcana of the moon, Aries, now we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords here, I always talk about you have to be careful of not allowing your energy to get involved in any types of gossip, because that's what she's good at. She's a great communicator. She's there with that sword, but usually also indicative of having to make a major decision or move. You got another court card here underneath that Knight of Cups, so it could be a decision majorly about a relationship. Of course, could be, connected also to the Knight of Wands in terms of a quick relationship that takes place. You have to make a decision about that. All right, or take some sort of action. Up next, now we have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands represents something rapidly coming in very, very fast, like the Knight, to put a smile on your face. This is always tempered with good news, okay? Now, good news can come from the people that are already in your spread, but it also could come through any forms of, messagings or communication, because this is my communication card. Could be a phone call. Someone calls you up and tells you something. Maybe it's about a job offer. Maybe it's about a relationship, or maybe something else, that's going to be very, positive for you to hear or receive. Could be through a text message. This is also traveling energy. So some of my Rams may be traveling this week. And if you are, you're going to be safe to and from. All right. So that's the Eight of Wands, always rushing in to give you some good news, put a smile on your face. On top of the Two of Pentacles for you, now we have the Strength card. Major Arcana, the Strength card here, any obstacles or challenges that you are dealing with, even if it's connected to the Nine of Swords, there's courage here for you to overcome whatever it is that's conflicting you, feeling in your own power, feeling definitely strong and courageous. Like I said before, nothing is going to prevent you from any, things that you need to do in terms of, challenges or obstacles. On top of the Major Arcana of the Moon, now we have the Major Arcana of the World card. Wow. Okay. So the World card indicates that there is a chapter of energy surrounding you, Aries, that's coming to an end. A new chapter is about to be read. Now, the World card is a very positive Major Arcana, because it's all involving opportunities that come to you, out of I don't like to say out of the blue. Things that happen for you. It could be unexpectedly. So I guess it could be out of the blue. But it represents relationships. But this is a very positive card. I need to speak more about that World card and what it may mean to you when it shows up in your spread. Also, too, when you think of the world what? Continuously, revolves and spins. So it's always changing. So there could be some sort of major change of event for you happening this week. All right. On top of the Queen of Swords for you, now we have the Eight of Swords. Okay. So the Eight of Swords, similar to that of the Nine of Swords, but I always, call the Nine of Swords out for it's, nastiness. It's a nasty card to receive, but just because it's here doesn't mean that it's going to be something that you experience. Because this is a general reading, and like I said, for disclaimer purposes, it's just me interpreting these messages here. But the Eight of Swords, similar to that Nine of Swords in a lesser degree, still worries about stuff, feels anxious about stuff, doubtful about stuff, could be fearful about something. But I always say just to be, careful here because, like the moon, this is another trick card here that you have to be careful with. The moon could, send your emotions up real high or send your emotions down real low. That's why we always have to put checks on our emotions. And for you, even more so because the moon shows up in your spread. And so, but here, the Eight of Swords is, always representing female that's blindfolded, surrounded by swords, like, feelings of trapped or being trapped. But you're not trapped. You can always see yourself out of any given situation. Sleepless nights, possibly worried about, communication when it comes to dealing with, people that are surrounding you. Again, family members, friends, romantic partners. Unlike the Eight of Wands, which is something that rapidly occurs, and again, it could be coming from an actual person. But then you could be, on the trick side, you could be, Aries, having to conjure up stuff in your mind, maybe because it's underneath the Knight of Cups, it's specific to someone out there about a relationship, and you're feeling the intensity of the relationship, and maybe it's having some sort of conflicting energies with you. But also, too, making sure that if you are thinking about a relationship, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It could be almost anything that's going on for you, Aries, and placing some sort of emphasis or end time on whatever that is that you could be stressing yourself out about, whether it's a family member, romantic partner, coworker, children. All right. And then I always say that, more than likely, when you do yourself a disservice when you think about stuff that has yet to come, or, even if it does come, it's not going to turn out the way that you've put it together in your mind. So be careful here. Eight of Swords for me also could represent a break in communication from those that are near and dear, whether they're near or far. All right. But work on the energies if you are experiencing this week to reduce the amount of conflicting energies that doesn't necessarily need to be around you, okay? Or begin to process that energy so that you can start to feel better about yourself. Last card, and on the Eight of Wands here for you, Aries, we're going to finish off with the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a very good card, so you have several people in this spread, and would indicate, I forgot to mention too, because the Eight of Swords mirrors over here to that Strength card. Remember, the Strength card is more powerful than the Minor card. So feeling strong, feeling powerful. If there's anything that you need to get done in terms of resolution, you will get it done. And, without, the hassles or the challenges. Knight of Pentacles for some Aries could be a promotion, a job offer. All right. Financial independence. You are striving to be financially independent, or you already are. This is a court card, so it could be that you step into the energy of this Knight of Pentacles, and maybe this is how people see you, Aries, as someone who is always there for them. Accountability, reliability, responsibility, all of that. These people are usually good money handlers as well. All right, so that's what I have for you this week. And also, too, just throw in there, it could be also related to businesses or any types of business activity. So, yeah, this is me just interpreting the message here for you. Aries, just take what's going to work for you, leave the rest alone. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You guys have a safe, great week ahead. Always come back to get more of these messages from me, Aries, and I will talk to you real soon. Ciao.